You may have seen our next guest in the news last week doing this. Holy cow.
Oh gosh, I could barely breathe.
23-year-old free climber James Kingston, who regularly scales 100-metre cranes, 200-metre radio towers, tall buildings, bridges, and does a backflip without using any safety equipment at all.
But what possesses him to do such a thing, and how would you feel if he was your child? Well, we're joined this morning by Daredevil James and his mum Julie, who regularly worries about her son's life. Welcome to both of you, and thank you for being here today. You watch something like that, but I mean, this has taken a lot of planning and years of practicing to get to a level that you're at now. I mean, how much planning went into that climb, for example?
Into that one, not so much planning. There was a few times, I've done it a few times before at night time, just to kind of get familiar with the site and the crane. But as far as planning goes, not that much, because I've done it for so long, I know usually what to expect and what is required. So.
Is there a moment there where you are apprehensive or nervous?
No.
Nothing at all?
No.
You were on the Moscow Bridge there, weren't you?
On the Moscow Bridge, yeah.
This was the flip that we saw you do there.
Yeah.
And nervous because you were doing a flip, I guess.
Because it was the highest I'd ever done a flip at, so.
And we'll have a look at it here. Just talk us through this. You got arrested afterwards, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, we got taken to the Ukrainian police station, which was quite surreal.
Did you know you were going to do the flip before you got up there? Was
no,
that
I didn't.
planned? You
no,
just decided to do that?
I'd never seen the top before. So when I got there, the first thing I thought was, OK, this is perfect to do a flip on. And then I kind of played around a bit, and then before we were leaving, I thought, I need to do this now.
What is really key is getting your sort of self mentally prepared for this. I mean, besides all the physical things that go into this and all the training, but actually mentally, that's the hardest bit. That's the bit that you say you have to overcome. And that Moscow Bridge moment, you had to sit down for sort of a good 10 minutes just to put your head into the right space.
Yeah, just to get control of the situation.
So when you say get control of the situation, what are you doing at that moment in time?
I'm just thinking, mainly I'm telling myself that I'm being silly and I shouldn't be scared because it's such a simple thing. But something takes over and makes you kind of really scared. But.
So what do? Do you start, obviously when you started, you would have to build up an incredible amount of strength because you have to be able to rely on your hands. As we saw the other day, you are hanging one-handed there, so you don't want your grip to let you down, you don't want your strength to let you down. How do you build that up?
You just practice hanging, I guess.
From lower levels, then higher and higher?
But hanging itself is such a simple thing. Like, when it comes to hanging off that crane, physically it's nothing special. But mentally, that's what the challenge is. The challenge is up here.
Well, most of our hands would be a bit sweaty then. That's what would
that's
let you
the bit
down.
I don't know how you control.
Your hands would, so it's a mind control thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'd say it's about 70% mental and 30% physical.
So you can control, if you control your mind from panicking, then you'll stop your palms getting sweaty.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, gosh. OK, so how does it feel for you, then, when you're at home, you hear the door go click at 5 in the morning and you know he's off out about to do something mad?
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often that I'm actually awake at that time of the morning. It's only when he used to have his motorbike, which was pretty loud, and then I'd wake up, But, yeah, it's terrifying. Really
is it
terrifying.
really?
Does he tell you up front that he's going to do something?
No. Even the thought of it, now makes my heart go I get quite nervous about it, even talking about it.
What was he like as a toddler?
Yeah, it was OK. It was a bit active.
Yeah,
he was quite... He used to have to be stimulated quite a lot, so there was a lot of kind of having to think about things quite creatively and how to keep him occupied. Fidgety.
Yeah. But then what was it? Because there was a moment you were watching a documentary on TV that it just inspired you. So what was it about that?
At first it just looked really cool. I thought, that's cool, I want to do that. But I didn't know kind of how big of an effect it would have on me until I started it.
What do you get out of it?
I get strength out of it. That's it, and happiness.
I mean, that is a very, very personal view you get, isn't it?
Yeah.
Entirely yours.
Yeah.
And that must feel extraordinary.
It's good, yeah.
What about those people that say that you know, you could encourage others to do this who are not as skilled and don't have the strength and the mind control that you have, and that they could very well do something like that and then drop off the building?
I think people aren't stupid enough to just go and try it without kind of some thought beforehand.
And training. I mean, it really needs
Yeah.
an awful lot of training. James has been doing this for a long time, doing parkour for a long time, so he's been really building up lots of muscles. And it is really important that people do not go out and do this. I mean, that's what you say all the time.
I'm not encouraging people to go out and hang off cranes. What I want people to do is just go out and do what they love and make the most of their life, really.
Well, the parkour, though, is the free running, and you did that for 2 years until you learnt the basics of that alone. So that was before you started doing any of the climbing. Then what we just saw there was the gymnastics, which you then taught yourself to do the flips and all those other tricks. And really, it took you 5 years before you even looked up.
Yeah, 5 years, I would say I learned most of the things I wanted to learn. And then it got to a point where I was like, OK, what's next? What scares me? And it was heights. I used to be terrified of heights, so I thought, OK, heights are the next challenge.
So when you're frightened of heights, scared of heights, what was the first high place you hung off or climbed to?
There was a lot of buildings. I can't really remember my first crane was in Italy, but it was small. It was probably like 30, 40 metres.
You could still dive.
Still big enough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Still big enough.
But then, yeah, just climb that because I was staying right next to it, so I would regularly go out and kind of just chill on top and just get kind of comfortable.
Do you remember a moment then, if you were scared of heights, when that went away?
Ooh, I don't know. No, not.
So you were just unaware of the fact that I'm not scared anymore.
Yeah, and then I'd get to a point, like even now I still do it, where I'm sat somewhere high and I'm like, cool, I'm not actually scared of this anymore.
It's a nice feeling.
Yeah.
What about things you can't control? Because you can put in the dedication to it and build up the strength and have the mind power. What about if a sudden gust of wind breezes through? I mean, I know that sounds ridiculous, but I mean, that could happen. Like on top of the bridge. I mean, the bridge was moving. I mean, all of those things that are out of your control.
I don't think they're strong enough to really put me in any danger.
What do you think, Mum?
I do.
Yeah, I thought you might
really
say
do.
that.
Yeah, I kind of I have a very creative imagination, so I imagine every single scenario that could possibly happen, from a seagull kind of coming along and knocking you off, everything you can
Or
imagine.
cramp.
A cramp,
Yeah.
Just
Is cramp
anything
a
as
problem?
simple as that.
No,
No?
not yet.
Not
But
yet.
do you build that into the equation?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't.
And how do you feel about that answer?
What about that? He doesn't build that in. No, well, I think I do all that kind of stuff for him. I kind of think.
Yeah, but you're in bed.
Yeah. yeah. I'm normally. I just don't know. Normally, I don't know about it. When he's
Would
going
you
to.
rather you obviously as a mum, you would rather he
Absolutely.
didn't do it?
Absolutely. Yeah. I want him to stop. Yeah. Definitely.
Your brother can't even watch the videos back, can he? Is he
No.
older or younger than you?
He's older.
Yeah.
Older than you, and he
Yeah.
can't watch them back.
No.
He
He won't
does,
watch
but then
anything.
he just disappears. Like,
We all sat down as a family to watch it, and he kind of shut off.
Really
Yeah.
doesn't want to
he
know.
can't watch it, yeah.
And what's next? I mean, is this going to continue? I mean, are there great heights?
It's the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. That's the big one, isn't it? That is the big
yeah,
one.
I'm working on that one.
Sorry, Mum. I don't like to bring this up, but that's the one that you're talking about.
Yeah.
What is
You're
actually-
talking with them, aren't you?
It's in the works.
Sort of, yeah. What were you going to say?
What he's got at the moment, which is really good, is a slackline. Have you ever seen slackline? This is his new challenge, which is about this far off the floor, which is so much easier to watch. That's a bit easier for me.
And well, what do you do on that?
It's about this wide. It's like
Yeah.
a massive ratchet strap.
Right.
And you balance across it, you do flips on it and
Yeah.
tricks on it.
And it's not very far from the ground.
Yeah,
and
but
that's
he's
lovely.
going
It's
to
a new
start
challenge.
there, I hate to tell
No,
you, and then he's
not.
going to put it on top of some huge building.
No, she said that's not happening.
Really?
The more well-known you become by doing things like this, don't the authorities look at you, and if you're snooping around a building and think, we recognise him, we know exactly what he's up to?
Yeah. They do it already, yeah, but I don't snoop.
Uh-huh. Would you use the word occasional trespass?
Oh,
Yeah.
Ricky?
Yeah.
Ricky?
Yeah. And do they watch you for that?
That I don't, maybe they do, I don't know. I don't think they see me.
And do you consider arrest?
Yeah, I know it could happen, but I know that I'm harmless. I'm not out to kind of harm anyone. So the way I see it is that because I know I'm not doing anything particularly bad, I can't imagine them wanting to punish me for it because
What if you fall off,
yeah.
God forbid, and fall onto someone?
Or I think the chances of that happening are tiny. Everywhere I've hung, people aren't underneath it. Firstly, it's really early, Secondly, it's usually above her sight, so it's empty anyway.
Mum's face was very telling, and you just looked at me then. That look in your eye.
Yeah. Well, I
What
think
can I
any
do?
parent would understand that it's terrifying. This, yeah.
Well, be safe
Mm-hmm.
with whatever you adventures and whatever anything else you do next. Just be very, very careful.
And it looks so exciting.
You're so into this, aren't you? I'm with you on this one.
Amazing. Thank you very much.
If Harry watches
Yeah.
this on YouTube in years to come, don't be inspired. Okay, don't be inspired.
Yeah, make
Thank
sure
you.